Morning, everyone. Welcome to the 11th Annual South Shore Leadership Conference. We have 7 workshops and an amazing keynote speaker, and we are very excited for everyone to be here. Some people may still be coming in, so we're going to begin our introduction. But for now, we're going to jump in. That way we can ensure we have time for all of our amazing things we have planned. So this conference is being recorded. You're not required to share your video, but we do encourage you to participate. I want to give a special thank you to MCTV for assisting us and working on these videos. It will allow Plymouth County and everyone outside of Plymouth County as a whole to benefit from this conference by having our workshops recorded and available to view at any time. After this workshop, they will be worked on, and we will let everyone know via newsletter, social media, when they're available to view. So if you wanted to attend more than one workshop, you can absolutely go back and watch the recording of other workshops. You can watch last year's workshops as well. They will be on the UWGPC, which stands for United Way of Greater Plymouth County, YouTube, and they will also be on our website with a link. If you are able, ensure your name on Zoom has your correct name and affiliation. I have mine as Casey Dean, Community Engagement Specialist. I am the host, and I'm the Community Engagement Specialist at the Family Center. Please keep your microphone off when not in use to answer questions or participate in the discussion. Feel free to use the chat feature to ask questions. Questions will be answered when available. And then definitely stay till the end, because we're going to have some giveaways of some amazing items donated from small businesses, organizations, individuals. So I'm very excited to share those. We're going to start with the history of the Leadership Conference. The Leadership Conference is a community resource event, and it has been ongoing since 2010. This is our 11th annual conference. We did postpone in 2020 due to the onset of the pandemic, and that's when we picked up virtual conferences beginning last year. Last year was our first ever virtual conference, and it was very successful, and we're excited to see how this one turns out as well. We typically hold the conference in person, but for this year and last year, for the safety of our staff, speakers, and guests, and with the planning process, we have to make a decision ahead of time. So this one was virtual as well. But hopefully we look forward to having a in-person one again next year. And then we at the Family Center kind of run, implement, and plan the leadership conference. The Family Center is a family resource center. We are located in Brockton. We strive to provide resources for families for whatever need may arise. We do everything from referrals to some direct services. We host groups such as a recent car seat class that we did. We also have the Drug Endangered Children's Initiative. More of our staff can speak to you. We have most of our staff on board today, so they can chat about what they do. We're open by appointment only currently, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then Fridays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can call the Family Center for an appointment or questions about services at this number here, and it will also be in the resource guide you guys will get following this conference. So we're going to start with introductions. I'm going to give the floor to our new director, Executive Director of Community Connections of Brockton and the Family Center, Tracy Hillman. Tracy, you have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well and is enjoying this morning, although somewhat gloomy. The sun will shine is what I'm told based on the meteorologist. I am so happy to be here this morning. I am the director of the Family Resource Center and Community Connections of Brockton. I want to welcome everyone in agreement with Casey. Welcome to the 11th Annual Leadership Conference. I am pleased to say that I have been the director here at the center since November 2021. I welcome everyone to this leadership conference. I'm excited to lead a dedicated working staff who's focusing on providing resources and professional services to our needed families and youth in Plymouth County. As you all know, the Family Center is operated by the United Way of Greater Plymouth County. It's very exciting to see everyone and to have this virtual conference, to know that although we are in a pandemic, we're still able to get together virtually and to provide this information to our community. So welcome, everyone. I look forward to seeing everyone in the near future. Hopefully we can get together post-pandemic. But for right now, I'm so grateful that Casey is able to provide this opportunity. And I look forward to working with everyone in the near future. Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Tracy. We're going to jump back on. And we have Maria. She is our program director, and I'm going to give Maria a minute to speak about herself. I'm going to spotlight her.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Maria Brennan. I've been the program manager at the United Way of Greater Plymouth County's Family Center. I've been the program manager since January of 2018, so a little over 4 years now, and I'm a little under the weather still, so I'm doing my best to hang in there, but I look forward to seeing everyone and hearing what everyone has to say today. I know it's something that everyone's always worked really hard on every year, and I as well look forward to doing anything in person, including this leadership conference in the year to come. I think it's just a more meaningful connection, but I look forward to participating today. So thank you,
Maria.
Casey, for all your hard work.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to Claudia. Claudia is one of our longest running employees at the Family Center. She has been with us for forever, and I'm going to let her jump in and share with you guys.
Oops. Hi everyone, good morning. I'm so sorry with my voice. I think the weather yesterday didn't help me a lot with my voice and the allergy and all of this. I apologize. But it's so nice to be here. It's great to see everybody here, new faces and faces that I've seen for a long time. I've been with the with the Family Center United Way for, I want to say, almost 10 years, being involved as a volunteer and then working. And it's very nice to be here. I was here from the first one, from the first magazine and then the first conference. So it's very nice to be here and see everybody here and see it going. And it's going to be a great day today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Claudia. We're going to jump to, I guess it's B next. I am the Community Engagement Specialist. My name is Casey Dean. I've been with the Family Center for quite a while in two different roles. I actually was the child care for the Clemente Program Partnership, and the Clemente Program did actually restart recently, but they're no longer doing child care. And I have been with the Family Center as Community Engagement Specialist since November of 2020, so I'm going on 2 years. I manage the South Shore Community Magazine, and I do the planning for the South Shore Leadership Conference, as well as some community outreach to different organizations, seeing what partnerships we can make, doing some organization, whatever we need, anything staff ever need help with. And then I'm going to jump to, let me just share screen. Well, I'll spotlight her, Patty. I just got to find her. Shouldn't be hard with her beautiful background.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I was in Hawaii about a month ago. Anyways, I'm the administrative assistant over at the Family Center. I do everything from answering phones to ordering supplies to jumping in when I need to help somebody out. I look forward to this leadership conference, and you can always get a little more knowledge on different areas, and that's what I like about this conference. All yours, Casey.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to jump to Tiffany, and I'm going to spotlight her. We haven't got a beautiful picture of her yet.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tiffany Foster, and I'm the Community Resource Specialist at the Family Center. I started there in November. I am also a senior level bachelor from Bridgewater State, so I also intern there as well. In my role, I assist families with connecting them with resources, any type of housing insecurities, jobs, filling out applications, a variety of things. And I've been doing my best to learn more of the resources that are out there in the community, what's available, and making those connections. So I look forward to this. This is my first meeting. So again, I'm very interested in seeing what's out there and just learning the other programs that I can offer to families when they need it.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. We're going to move to Sue.
Good morning, everybody. My name's Susan Wells. I'm the CRA family partner at the Family Resource Center. I've been with VAMSI for almost 4 years now, and I've been at the Family Resource Center since June of last year. This is also my first conference, and I'm very, very, very excited about it. So welcome to the 11th annual conference.
Fantastic. Thank you, Patty. Sue, sorry. I'm staring at Patty's picture in the presentation. Next, we're going to jump to Claudel. So I'm going to make him spotlight.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Claudel Chevry. I am the LCP at the Family Center. Part of my role is to assist family or any individual, any consumers who are having issues after purchasing something. It could be a car, anything relating to rent. So it is a partnership with the Attorney General's office, and our goal is to advocate so that consumer understand their right, and at the same times, vendors are able to respect their right. So that is my role at the Family Center.
Thank you so much, Claudel. And last but not least is our newest employee, Jackie. I'm going to add Jackie into the spotlight. She may have stepped away. Jackie is also a LCP, which is the Local Consumer Program Consumer Advocate. So she shares a role with Claudel, and she has already been a tremendous addition to our team. We'll see if she pipes back in, but for now, I'm going to move on. And then this is what Jackie looks like for everyone to see. Okay. So we have 7 workshops for everyone today. So I'm going to allow the speakers to introduce themselves briefly, and then we're going to move on to our keynote performance. So we're going to start with Christy. Are you ready? I know that you had stepped away.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. I was like, let me give her a minute.
I needed to walk back over and unmute myself.
Okay, I'm going to add spotlight.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Christy Glenn. I am the founding partner of Pinnacle Partnerships. My co-founder, Diana Schlosser, will be joining us in a bit for our workshop. We are going to be presenting on finding well-being in pandemic times today. So we will be having an interactive workshop. It's very much conversation-based, and just sort of doing a little bit of reflection of all of the things that we have gone through over these past several months, couple of years, and also thinking about what do we do now, right? We're in this kind of interesting time where some people are wearing masks, some people are not, some people are vaccinated, some people are not, but we all really have this yearning to be back together, be in community, be together. And so how do we find that space of well-being together for ourselves and for our families? And so we're really excited to be here this year for the conference and to present and have a great conversation with people. So we'll see you all in our workshop.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Christy. I'm going to move on to Tiffany. Let me just find her. Here we go.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Tiffany, And yes, thank you all for coming and being here. A little bit about my workshop is it's basically more storytelling, more telling about my past experience of being a mother of 3 at the time, homeless, just getting out of the strains, having to deal with so much at the time in a shelter, no car, no job, relying on assistance, and more of like motivation, inspiration. What did I do to get me out of those situations? How do I deal with the my children too at the time with undiagnosed autism spectrum disorder? What did I go through? The pitfalls that I went through, the mental health pinnacles that I had to do as well. So I really, really hope to inspire you all if you do decide to join my workshop, giving you tips on navigating through those if you are ever to see yourself in those situations. And yeah, just how I am now being an entrepreneur and business owner, and just leading the way, having an inspiration, being a mentor. So that's what a little bit about my workshop is about today. So I hope you all would like to join me and hear my story.
Thank you so much. I'm going to jump to Gregory.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Okay, good morning. My name is Greg Fernandez, and I am the founder and executive director of Rose Conservatory. Thank you all for allowing me to be here today. This is my first conference, so I am honored, and it's a pleasure to be here with all of you. My workshop today will be talking, will be focused on Rose Conservatory and its conception, the vision and the mission of what we're trying to accomplish here in Brockton. We're going to be talking about how a music conservatory in Brockton really came out of a conversation. We're going to be talking about sort of past experiences, similar to Tiffany, about sort of how I got here, going from a very troubled youth running around Brockton to music teacher to mentor to now running my own conservatory in Brockton. Also going to be talking about the impacts that music does have on our children, on our community, and on us just as human beings. So hopefully you can join me for the workshop. I think it'll be fun and interesting. And thank you again for allowing me to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it on to Alan.
Morning, everybody. Alan McCall with Father Bill's and Mainspring. I've been working for Father Bill's for almost 13 years now. Most recently as a role as an employment specialist. So my workshop is going to focus on, I'll do a general overview of Father Bill's and Mainspring, what we do in general for our population and where we do that, and then talk about some of the creative things we've been doing to get through the COVID crisis and some exciting new things that are on the horizon that the community would be benefited from. And then I'll get into my specific role as an employment specialist, how our Work Ready Family program utilizes Secure Jobs grant from the state to not only do employment ready, but a lot of other employment related services for our families who are homeless, who we are trying to prevent from being homeless or about to be homeless. So a lot of information about Father Bill's and what's new in 22. So I hope you can join me.
Thank you so much. We're going to pass it on to Jensen and Chris.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jensen. I'm the founder of Hero in You. And Hero in You is an educational program that showcases people in the community who are doing good work and good deeds, connecting the topics of comic book stories. And so the workshop that we're doing today, it's on unity, the importance of teamwork effort. And we're going to demonstrate a TikTok video that we did as a team. My colleagues and my teammates, Chris, Elsa, and Simone will be joining us to talk about the importance of working as a team, the importance of unity, and how you can accomplish everything when you brainstorm together and have a common goal. And there'll be a lot of fun activities and games.
Thank you so much. I'm going to pass it on to Dennis.
Wow, good morning. I'm just kind of humbled by all the impressive people and the resources that we are for each other. Excited about the session that we're going to do around helping people with public speaking and becoming more effective. And I'm kind of bummed that I can't divide myself like a superhero and go to all of the sessions, and really thrilled to hear that they're going to be recorded so we get a chance to do that. I'm Dennis Carmen, President and CEO of the United Way of Greater Plymouth County for the last 16 years. And 12 years before that, I was blessed to be the director of the Mainspring Coalition of the Homeless. And before that, was involved in a number of substance abuse programs. So I've had a lot of terrific work experiences and personal experiences in my church where public speaking is really vital and a vitally important set of skills to have. So we're going to talk a lot about the different skills and the different mindsets that we have. So I'm pumped to be involved in it, and I love the overall theme of unity. Together, we can do so much more than we can do separately. So looking forward to the day.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I'm going to pass it on to Joni, Lenny, and Yvette.
Hi, folks. My name is Joni Block, and I am the coordinator of the Brockton Family and Community Engagement Project. We have collaboration, unity at our heart, and I am very thrilled to be here today. I was part of the first 11 years ago. I was part of the first one, so it's kind of nice to come home. And we will be doing our workshop on working with families to support their children's social and emotional development. Lenny and Yvette are colleagues of mine, and we will be doing it together. I'm going to kick this over to Lenny. Thank you, folks.
Just to share, I'm Lenny, and I'm glad to be here. And this is like an important workshop because we were we participated in a workshop. We saw the importance of bringing this type of workshop to the community, especially to families that don't speak English, so that they could have a better understanding of ways to help their children.
Thank you so much. I'm going to kick it over to our keynote speaker. I just got to find her on the pictures. Sydney.
Good morning.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Well, part of my keynote is introducing myself. So do you want me to just start?
Absolutely. You can just start.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again. Casey, good morning. Good morning to everyone on screen. It's really a pleasure and an honor to join you today at this at the 11th annual South Shore Leadership Conference. I have unfortunately not participated in this conference before. So I was extremely humbled when Casey reached out to me and asked me to be the keynote. For many years, I've supported the United Way and the United Way of Greater Plymouth County. And more recently, the Family Resource Center. I've been in Brockton now for probably 14 years. And so when you think about leadership and unity, both of these organizations serve so many people in the community. United Way over 60,000. And I don't know the number for the Family Resource Center, but I know it's large because I hear about them constantly in my travels and on many of the groups that I join. That Family Resource Center is doing some really powerful work in the community. So thank you for that. I'll start off with a little bit about myself. I grew up in Roxbury and spent significant time in my youth on the South Shore as well. Many of my relatives reside in this area, so I feel like I grew up with the best of both worlds. My mom raised us in Boston, and my dad lived in Plimpton, which isn't too far from here. So therefore, my cultural exposure was both rural and urban. So I got to learn about both those lifestyles and participate, and I feel very fortunate. For a little over 30 years, I've enjoyed a career working in education at Boston College, at Boston Evening Academy, which is a charter school located in Roxbury, and then at Bridgewater State University. So most of my career was spent in the realms of student affairs, where I had the opportunity to mostly work with students. For the last 8 years, I served as the director of the Lewis and Gaines Center for Inclusion and Equity at Bridgewater State University, formerly known as the Center for Multicultural Affairs. It's where I work to strengthen the experience of underserved students. Oftentimes, I share that it was a very selfish role because I thrived each and every day. It was a role that I relished and for which I found most rewarding. The students with whom I engaged made going to work every day really a joy. I truly loved my job. And that's a plus. It's just special because you don't often hear that. I don't honestly know who made out better, them or me. It was really a reciprocal arrangement. When I reflect on those days and I see former students out in the community, it is a reminder of how much I valued them and vice versa. The relationships got stronger, usually because even after many years, I still receive cards and letters and invitations to weddings and baby showers. So I know that at some point I made a difference in some lives. And like I said, and they definitely made a difference in mine and how I relate to the world and my own children and my grandchildren. During my years in higher education, I also served as a diversity facilitator, sometimes with staff, but more often with students. I was trained originally by a company called Visions, Inc. when I was back at Boston College in the late 90s. Going forward, I constantly worked to keep my knowledge current by serving on university committees, such as the Bridgewater State University Presidential Racial Justice Task Force, which was a task force that was started. It ran for about a little over a year following the murder of George Floyd and the beginning of the pandemic. It was quite the perfect storm at that time. I also served on the Leading for Change Consortium and hosted Strengths Quest workshops for various student organizations while at BSU and other endeavors at a variety of other community boards on which I belong. Currently, I serve as the Chief of Staff to the Mayor of Brockton, Robert Sullivan. I've been in this role since August of 2021. It's very fast-paced and challenging, and a role that I've never seen myself taking on, but I have to admit it is as fulfilling and rewarding, but in a different way. I used to say, each student, one student at a time. My new mantra is one resident at a time. I'm sorry, each resident, one resident at a time. Brockton is a majority Alana community, so I revel in its diversity. For those of you who might not be familiar with the term, Alana is an acronym for African American, Latinx, Asian, and Native American. I find it a little softer than BIPOC, so it's my choice. The mayor's staff is a very diverse group of folks in age and ethnicity. And one of my colleagues is actually on here and he's going to be doing a workshop for you later. So I'm really pleased when he told me that we'd be sharing this day together, Jensen. And Chris was a former student and I didn't know Chris was his partner. So it was great. It's great to see Chris as well. It was easy to make this career move because it was comforting to me to know that this mayor values diversity at the level in which he does. Each day is different and brings unexpected changes and opportunities. No day is the same, so I have to be on my toes at all times. Thinking creatively, definitely multitasking, trying to make people happy, and even when I know they may be a little disappointed and sometimes not, but always assuring them that their concern is the most important one at that moment. On a more personal note, I'm a proud mom of a son and a daughter and two fabulous grandchildren, ages 16 and 6. My son has a daughter and my daughter has a son. I enjoy spending my spare time traveling to foreign countries, mostly with my family, and I really, really enjoy arts and crafts and sort of just kind of making things pretty. So today we're going to talk about leadership and community, keeping the theme of unity in mind and how I have experienced their importance from the U, that's Y-O-U, to the Y, and that's W-H-Y. Unity is defined as the state of being single or whole, and simultaneously defined as togetherness, which makes sense if you look at it from the perspective of community. It is what each of us brings to the table to qualify its very existence. Individually, we are the threads that create our community, and our uniqueness is what makes our contribution so necessary and so very valuable. As we develop our talents, which ultimately morph into our strengths, we are establishing skill sets that make us invaluable leaders in so many diverse ways. Which brings us to that next, sometimes dreaded word, leadership. So please remember, I'm speaking from my heart, from my experiences and mine alone, and let me explain why I use the word dreaded. Physical qualities generally serve as perceptions to others to make judgments that may not always hold true. So for instance, I've always been tall since like second, third grade. And I've always looked very mature for my age. I am an extrovert. I can be sort of loud sometimes. And I come off as very sure of myself, even when I'm not. Don't let that get out. I share all that because these qualities always got me labeled as a leader. And honestly, most of the time, I just wanted to be the busy bee in the background, making things work, making things pretty, making things run smoothly. But no, everybody wanted me to be in charge. And sometimes I struggled. My perceptions of a leader was someone who was larger than life, who changed the world with wisdom and superpowers that I never attributed to myself. I fought with everything in me to not be seen as this person with whom I just could not relate. All that's needed is the drive and the wherewithal to realize that even if one person follows you, then you're in the lead and therefore a leader. It was then that I embraced the notion that busy bees can be leaders too. They can set an example, they can come up with great ideas, they can provide the necessary assistance to create something successful and wonderful together. You don't always have to set the room ablaze. You can just provide the glow of a candle and be equally productive and equally successful. Building community is about unity and leadership. The structure and commitment you hone in on to develop that niche is the foundation. By allowing those skills to bond with the goal of what it is you're developing is a way to accomplish the end result. It takes individualism, acceptance, foresight, and fortitude to bring about success. Community building begins with the unification of goals, plans, and belief. The goals are to establish the purpose, and whatever the purpose is. Plans create the work to ultimately reach the end goal of a successful endeavor. And belief provides the confidence that will make those things happen and the strength for each and every one of us to bring our best to the table. In order to create community, I believe you need diversity. I used to say back when I was at the university that everyone is multicultural because your culture is the essence of your being, and it changes based on your lived experiences. During one's lifetime, there are so many experiences that make up who we are at any given time that our culture might change often and significantly over time. Who you are in elementary school may change in middle school, and again in high school, and yet again in college. Sometimes it may be the neighborhood in which you're raised. If your family moved around a lot, similar to the experiences that many military children have, then that can be even more fast-paced than others who grew up in one place, stayed in their community for long periods of time. One's religious life or lack thereof can also be instrumental in how you define yourself. All of these cultural experiences comprise who you are, how you see the world, and more importantly, how you see yourself in that world. So earlier I talked about talents and strengths. Everyone has them, no matter what their level is. Your talents become your strengths over time as you identify the ones that you utilize the most or the least. They're still talents. It's just a level of exercise you give them that dictates their strength and how you ultimately use them. Their growth and development is ranked by how much work you choose to build upon them. And don't be fooled. Sometimes your talents are buried, and it may take some time coaxing them and teasing them out, or acknowledging that they might not be the best and brightest that you think. So for instance, I love music, and I know the words to many, many songs, but no one, and I mean no one, wants to hear me sing. One's leadership skills are comprised of one's strengths. That is where you'll find the best of your traits to accomplish whatever it is you're attempting to endeavor. Once you have identified the goal, compile a team. Create an atmosphere where everyone is valued because they've been allowed to bring their whole selves to the group. Do not assume the superpower of a team member. That's your perception and might not be theirs. So communication is key. My favorite Maya Angelou saying, and I use it often, is people tell you who they are. Believe them. So often we self-destruct or our team implodes because we push others to take on tasks that they might not be good at or just plain old don't want to do. If you force something on them because of your assumptions, then trust and believe it will fall back upon you to take it on when they either don't do it at all or don't do it to your expectations. And now you have to do it for them, along with what you've already promised that you will undertake. So encourage constant communication by checking in on others frequently. And that goes for you too. Take your pulse every once in a while because self-care is real. It's a thing. Communication is a catalyst for building relationships. And without relationships, collaboration is really, really hard to do. Good listeners are also what is needed. So along with communication, you got to be a good listener because good listeners empower you and others to be strong and confident and to really be present. So to create an effective team, acknowledge the importance also in engaging in team building activities. Be selective about the activities that qualify the tasks that are required to enhance an endeavor and bring it to fruition. Be mindful that the activities will help to identify the qualifications of each member. There is something for everyone. Community is about cohesiveness, working together in unity for the greater good of a neighborhood, an organization, an idea, a workforce, a classroom, an office staff. Community is key. Each of us contributes something essential and extraordinary when we utilize our strengths and are allowed to freely provide whatever it is that makes us special and destined for success. When issues arise, and they will, be prepared to problem solve. You may need to take a break and refresh your spirit. There's no shame in walking away for a minute. And forgive yourself. Give yourself and others permission to do the same. No shame, no blame. Sometimes we just get weary. Being on the other side of an issue will show us where things may fall short or may be better enhanced by going in a different direction. You know, a clear mind, a fresh set of eyes may really improve upon your perspective. It's okay if that's what it takes. Trust yourselves and others when that happens. Do not take it personally. It's not always about you. So in my current role at City Hall, I'm the first person of color to serve as the chief of staff in Brockton's history. I bring a new perspective to the team based upon my culture derived from previous years in higher education. I have no political superpower other than I vote and I read and I try to keep myself current. But building community is what I do all day, every day. And if you're here, then I'd imagine that some of you may share the same philosophy. Again, it's not just the community of Brockton. It's also the community of our office team in City Hall, and it's the community that I work on with the Brockton area branch of the NAACP, and the community I work for with Girls Inc. of Taunton, on which I'm a board member. I must also hold myself accountable to bring my strengths, my commitment, my diversity, my whole self, and everything that makes me the unique individual that I am through the door and up to the table. I have to remember always that I'm the only one link in the chain, but my strength is equally important to holding that chain together. So therefore, I owe it to myself and my teammates to be genuine so that they can see the value that I bring and utilize my skill sets for the benefit of us all. And conversely, that helps me to value their strengths, seek their strengths, make sure that I'm utilizing them to their fullest potential and giving them an opportunity to grow as well. My continuous growth and development will hopefully serve the team and the city well and contribute to the success of whatever it is we've taken upon ourselves to do. So all that being said, I really would like to open up the screen to questions and comments because I believe dialogue is very important and we are only as good as the person sitting next to us. So I really would like to share with you, and if you're up to it, I'd love to hear about your experiences or comments so that we can learn together this morning. It will only solidify our thoughts, our community, and expand our knowledge base. So I hope that these workshops really bring support to one another, because from all of you that introduced yourselves, whether you are on the staff or workshop presenter, excuse me, it sounds like everybody is about the community. We are about making sure that the world around us is a peaceful and orderly place. And while we know, looking at the news every day, that that's not always true, and whatever we can do in our own worlds, in our own little corner of the world, or maybe the larger spaces that we involve ourselves, that we can make a difference for the future of our children, our community, our immediate community, and the world outside of us, because God knows we need it badly. So I thank you for letting me share my thoughts. And like I said, these are just mine. And people may not agree with them. That's fine. And I'd love to hear that too. So anybody who wants to make me smarter than I think I am, please feel free. And I see Joni has her hand up. Thank you, Joni.
Oh, no, I was applauding.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions? And feel free to type in the chat.
I don't really have a question. I just wanted to say thank you to Sydney. For those of you that don't know Sydney personally, she is an amazing human being. She walks the walk, she talks the talk, and she looks out for the little guy. In the little time that we've spent talking and working together, she's been so supportive of what the Rose Conservatory is trying to do for the city. And I just wanted to put it out there that if you don't know her, she is certainly someone you should get to know. She's just an amazing human being. So just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you. The check is in the mail.
Much.
Oh, just kidding. No, you're doing some fantastic work. I absolutely love what you're doing for our community, and I intend to be your biggest cheerleader.
I also want to say, Sydney, thank you for the message, and from my own personal experience, you have been a model example not only to the mayor's office but for the city of Brockton, for the whole community. And it's really great that you know the importance of taking initiative and just being a leader, because leadership is very critical, especially during a pandemic. And I really want to say you are leaving a great legacy and continuing the magnificent work.
Thank you, Jensen.
I'd like to speak as well too. First of all, I'd like to say thank you. I think that the words that you used to describe, communication and leadership were amazing. And I think that, working in a setting where you have various individuals coming together and formulating a team and having that leadership, sometimes can be very challenging, but the way that you described it, I feel like I took a lot of that in. And I love the way that you express being the link and being that one link, even though you may have a difference in being a link, you are a link that connects everybody in your team. And I think that's great, because I think all of us here, whether we're, being a link in the agencies that we're connected to for ourselves, and then becoming a link to all of the other agencies and community people that are here today, making those connections and linking us all together so that we can serve the community. I am grateful to be a part of the Family Center. Resources is my thing. I love it. And I think that it's great, and being able to bring families and connect them to these links in the community is what I'm really striving to do. So I thank you for all that you're doing, and I congratulate you for going as far as you have and where you're at now. I think that your imprint is going to be everlasting. Being the first person in that position is an amazing thing, and it just makes me feel good to see you there, and I can't wait to see how far you go.
Oh, thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. Yep. I'm glad you, I probably usually talk more about relationship building, because that's, communication is key to that. It's so important. I've always told my students and anyone that will listen to me, to be honest with you, if you want to have a relationship, you have to communicate. I can't help you if I don't know who you are. And sometimes people want to say that, well, that's too much, or there are too many students or too many residents, I don't have the time. Well, you have to make the time. And we can't always help every single person, but we can try. But we can't try if we don't know who they are. Because what you need as a student of color, what you need as a student of color may not be what that other student of color needs. Everybody's needs are different. And the only way to really help them, instead of taking this, broad brush and just sweeping across the wall and feeling like we're going to cover everyone, it doesn't work. So you have to take the time to create the relationships so that people feel comfortable, can come to you and ask you for your assistance or offer you assistance, and collaborate. That's really the only way to do it. So thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that.
Hi, good morning again. Sydney, I want to thank you personally for accepting this opportunity to be our keynote speaker. I met Sydney last summer when she first started with the mayor's office, and I was not in this role. Sydney, I don't know if you remember, we were on the basketball court at East Middle School. There was a basketball tournament.
It was my birthday.
Was that your birthday?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yep.
And I met you and I had a conversation with the mayor, and I just appreciate your support at that time at the basketball tournament. And you were so impressive when I met you. And I appreciate your conversation this morning and just highlighting the fact that constant communication is the catalyst to building strong relationships. And I appreciate your message. It really is helping me in my role at the Family Center. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. And congratulations.
Congratulations to you as well. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to share just quickly a couple comments in the chat. We have a comment of great job, amazing words from Lenny. Sue says, thank you so much. Your chat was amazing. Alan says, love the link and chain analogy. Tiffany Payne says, thank you, Sydney, as well as Chris. And then Liz says, Sydney, such an inspiring speech. You should be proud of yourself. Really lifted us up. Simone, I don't want to mispronounce, I'm so sorry. She said, thank you, Sydney. You are so inspiring. And then Calvina says, thank you so much. Wish I was here from the beginning. And then she had a question about resources, and anyone who would like resources and in general, just following the conference, I did leave in the chat, make sure I have a correct email address for everyone. That way I can share the resources and the prizes, because I do see some names that I didn't see registered. So whether it was using different emails, or the name wasn't completed in the registration, just everybody make sure we have a correct email for you. Thank you so much.
It just reminded me, Casey, I just put my email in the chat. So anyone that has any questions, and I will ask, okay, so Tiffany put hers in here. But if anyone has any questions or wants any further information about the NAACP, I'm more than happy to give it to you. Feel free to send me a chat. I mean,
Casey, can I?
Absolutely, go ahead, Sue.
Sydney, I just have to tell you, I put a message in the chat, but I also just had to say your definition of you wanting to be a leader just really put a smile on your face, because being a leader doesn't necessarily mean being that, okay, let's go. It's that bright, shining star, like you said.
Yeah, thank you.
It just put a smile on my face.
Good, I'm glad. Yeah, I used to cringe. Like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't really want to do that. Can I just be in the background?
Sydney,
It
Bill
was
Withers
such a
was
sweet.
reminding us.
I'm sorry, I missed somebody.
No,
Dennis is
sorry.
speaking in.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm sorry. I always hate to cutting anybody off. I wanted to say Bill Withers reminded us at the beginning to have a lovely day. And I wanted to say, you've made it a lovelier day. And if I'm the first one to ask you this, and I mean this sincerely, Sydney, I would love to hear you sing, because we all have parts, right? We all have parts, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter whether we're all in tune, because the bottom line is unity is all about that.
Dennis,
so I've had a lovelier day. Thank you, Sydney.
Thank you so much. I know I do love that song, and you saw my lips moving and my head bopping, right?
I've got my keyboard ready to go, Sydney.
Okay, great. Trust me when I tell you, you all don't want to hear me sing.
I love it. I'm going to share screen one more time. Thank you again so much, Sydney, for our keynote presentation.
Absolutely.
I want to take this time to give a special shout out to this year's Community Spotlight nominees from 2021. So we are going to connect the South Shore Community Magazine with the South Shore Leadership Conference in a new and unique way. And this was actually one of our participants in the committee's ideas, Magali Pinney. I was hoping she would be here. She did register, but she might peek in a little bit later. We'll see. She said about inviting them as special guests to the leadership conference. And one of our special guests is actually one of our speakers, Gregory Fernandez. So quarterly, we do the South Shore Community Magazine. We publish typically March, June, September, and December. Towards the beginning of those months, we accept content from everywhere and anyone. We fall within 6 main categories, and then we also accept creative writing and such. So we have a community spotlight nominated each edition. And with that, we interview the community spotlight nominee and we write an article and learn more about what they do. So we had 4 community spotlight nominees, and all 4 had said they were coming, but things happen. So we'll be able to give them their prizes after. And I have these in person as well, but they will be available for pickup or mailing from the Family Center. But we have plaques and awards for our community spotlight nominees. And we just want to give a big shout out and a big thank you for everything that they do within the community. In the spring 2021 edition, it was My Brother's Keeper, for their endless service to the community, adapting and changing to fit new and unique needs. In summer 2021, it was Lady C&J Cafe and Catering. The article title was A Work of Heart in the Brockton Community. their services not only throughout Brockton, but for going out of their way to feed first responders and essential personnel for free throughout the pandemic. And then fall 2021, we had Laverne Gordon and Love Life Now. The article title was Learning to Thrive, Not Just Survive, for her active engagement in the discussion about domestic violence and offering resources and support to the community. And then in winter 2021, we had Gregory Fernandez in the Rose Conservatory, A Rose to Remember, for fulfilling his mother's dreams and offering exceptional musical education to the children of Brockton. So I'm gonna peek in, and I know Laverne is here today, so I'm gonna spotlight her. That way she can just kind of introduce herself and say hello. I just gotta find her. There's so many participants, I have to click through a couple screens to get to everyone. Oh, here she is.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Casey. And
thank you so much.
To all the other honorees from 2021, I salute you. I know one of them, Gregory Fernandez, and I do salute his work as well. From what I know of it for the Rose Conservatory, I've heard a lot of your story through your sisters and yourself. We're connected on social media, and it's amazing work that you're doing. And again, to all the other honorees, I salute you. So very quickly, I'm not going to be long. I told Casey that we hosted our annual gala last night, Men Against Domestic Violence annual event. It was our 10th annual, and I am very much out of sorts this morning, but I said, thank God the event's virtual. I can I can rally from the neck up. But very quickly, again, my name is Laverne Gordon, and I'm the founder and president of Love Life Now Foundation, and we promote year-round awareness around the issue of domestic violence. And it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to do one of our events strictly in the city of Brockton, which is the Homeless Brown Bag and Care, where we ask folks to donate toiletries that consist of chapstick, deodorant, bar soap, the whole nine, right? And anything travel size that you can use on the go for the homeless. And then we put together a brown bag lunch, and we meet on every quarter and assemble those items and go on and meet the homeless where they're at, really to connect with victims of abuse. Because if we're experiencing abuse behind closed doors, you can imagine for those that are living on the street. So we try to connect with them to give them resources and let them know that they deserve help because they don't think that they do. So, throughout the years, I've been able to connect with a lot of folks in Brockton because of the work. And I'm just, again, so privileged and honored to receive this award. I do not take it for granted, and just appreciate every community and heart on here doing the work that you do, because it takes a village. I see Tracy on here, Tracy Hillman. We've partnered just within the last 2 months, since she's joined in her position to help survivors and close the gaps with what's called our Get Safe Fund. So I'm putting this out to everybody. Our Get Safe Fund helps with a domestic violence victim or survivor that's thinking about leaving or has just recently left, and they need a leg up financially with a domestic violence related expense. And that can be, shelter, immediate shelter for up to 2 to 3 nights. We put them up at a hotel. It can be clothes, it can be food, it can be transportation, it could be a plane ticket to leave the state. Whatever it is, if that victim has left, thinking about leaving or has recently left, we can help with our Get Safe Fund up to $500. So please put that in your notes. Again, I'm just so appreciative of everything that everyone does in the community. If you want to find out more about our initiatives throughout the year, because that's just the scab of it. There's a whole lot more that we do to raise awareness around the issue of abuse. But you can visit us at lovelifenow.org, LOVELIFENOW.org. I'll put it in the chat. And thank you again, Casey.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to put up a little poll really quickly. It's just 3 questions, if everyone can complete that. And then we are going to can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I am going to share screen one more time. And we are going to jump into our breakout rooms. So just in case I don't have everyone on my list already, if you can put in the chat what breakout room you are planning on going to. I know some people did register for multiple breakout rooms. Unfortunately, we can only go into one. So I'm going to open those up. So these are the rooms, just as a reminder, if you want to put into the chat really quick which room you would like to go into. And I will add our co-hosts and hosts in as well when I open them up. So I'm just going to leave this on the screen for a minute and we're going to sort into breakout rooms.